Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, I'm your Dungeon Master, AuldDragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm David Binkmack Shepherd. I play Braxon Miacc, who's a human fighter and the ship's captain.
Hi, I'm Daikami-sama, and I play Solas of Ebha, who is Half-Elven Cleric Mage of Ogma.
Hey, I'm James. I play Ockar, human paladin from Brawl.
Hello everyone, I'm Salem Motor. I play Finnel'ar Mohani, a druid from Grayspace.
Hi, I'm Levalithana, an elven wild mage.
Hey there, I'm Zach Hudd. I play the character of Lafdul Moonglade, a specialty priest and thief multiclass from Realmspace. And his gimmick is coming up with fun little titles, and his current title is the Inconsequential Diphonicist. Diphonicist? Yeah. Someone that's good at table talk, but he's being very unutilized because he's not doing much talking, because Level's doing all the talking. So that's why I came up with that. It's in Roll20 if you want to know where it is.
Deepness Sophist, I think? I'm not sure. I know Sophist, I don't know the first part.
It's Dipnophysist, I think. I think it's Greek.
Well, yeah, Sophist is the second part. I'm not sure how to pronounce the first part.
I think you've been spending way too long reading your thesaurus.
Yeah, but it's the best dinosaur. Well, at least I got an acknowledgement there. Alright, so we left off last time. The party had spent a day, or part of a day, in a kobold port here in Chthon Space. And you're expecting your translator guy, Thrasar the Rastipede, to show up about mid-morning. So you've got some time to... get spells memorized and everything like that. Change up your spells, and do anything else that you want to do. If you want to use some spells to talk to other people around the port, that's okay as well.
Because there's nothing that passes for linen around here, is there?
There are things that pass for linen, yeah.
I was looking at my spell component.
A wool, for spell components, yeah, no.
It's like linen cloth, so it's like, is there anything on the ship that I could salvage?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got linen sheets and stuff like that. Probably.
Alright. Because I'm just going to buy some... Well, my spell component is linen cloth and good friends, so I'll just buy some good.
Okay.
And I'll salvage stuff from the ship. I mean, it's only a small piece of cloth, I assume.
What spell is it for?
Memory read.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you probably have enough left over. You can probably salvage enough that it's going to be inconsequential, I think. Unless you just go absolutely nuts casting dozens and dozens of copies of that spell.
I've got enough for 5 castings at the moment. I'm probably going to try and salvage 10 more's worth.
Okay.
Or is that too much?
No, that's fine.
Alright, so I just pay the regular price for gold thread then?
Yes.
Alright.
Leva announces to the group that there won't be any more invisibility spells from her.
Why is that?
Because there's no Gamma Arabica here.
Lafdul has some of that, but I've never wrote down the specific amount that he has, because I have it as a requirement of my scroll research, but it was just something I could tether in with my return to port cost, the spell component thing. That's how that was tied into it. But how much would I have?
You'd have enough.
I can...
So keep in mind, you haven't used any of it, right?
No, it was just for fort capture, because I need Elven Whiskers as well, and that was something that I didn't have. I didn't know I could get Elven Whiskers, considering Lever's been getting them quite easily.
Wait, elves have whiskers?
Elven Cat Whiskers.
I think she may have... I didn't realize that was the spell that used it, Cat's Grace. She may have been using that a little bit too much. I'll have to.
Yeah, because
look
you
at that
said they
in the future.
were
Yeah, they're-
quite hard to come by.
Yeah, they are hard to come by.
Yes.
Right, so
Yes, she
I
stopped. She stopped announcing Cat's Grace. So there.
all right. No, I can give her what I have because I'm not going to be getting the requirements to make that scroll anytime soon.
Yeah, and keep in mind that that's just this port. Other ports may be different with other connections outside of the sphere and stuff like that.
So I could say that she has that for until she goes to like another sphere or so. Something
Yeah,
more.
or another port that has that available.
In some ways, it's a good thing because it means that her eyelashes finally can recover again.
Braxon's gonna show Lever whatever we used for gluing wood together, and ask her if that'll work. Which it probably won't.
As Gamma Arabica,
No, that's
I
not. It's not going to work now. Whatever it
I
is,
think
it's not
that's
going to
very
work.
special. I think that's very special. Gamma Arabica is special.
Yeah, it comes from the Al-Qadim setting.
You don't happen to make chewing gum, do you?
What's chewing gum?
You know, gum that you put in your mouth and you keep on chewing.
They have stuff like that in fantasy.
Okay.
So specifically, that's from the acacia tree. And that's why it's not available.
Wait, there's a tree that makes gum. Braxton needs a big book of trees stat.
All right, so Lafdul, you also wanted to buy some things for disguising.
Yeah, just generic materials like a flat GP values worth of materials.
Yeah. The problem is that you're in a kobold port. So most of that stuff is going to be like there are hobgoblins around.
I mean,
so stuff sized for like part of the problem is that you don't really have a lot available here that's sized to you and your companions. If you're talking about like
it's not like full disguise. It's mainly just facial disguises.
right.
Rather than my.
So I mean, like you can get some things for darkening faces, lightening faces, dyeing hair, and stuff like that. I'll do that, but nothing in the way of clothes.
All right. I mean, I'll take what I can get. I mean, the idea is to reduce the likelihood, or at least you have to be really close before you do notice me.
Yeah, so I'll say that you can buy 15 gold pieces worth of various makeup or makeup equivalents, because you can use things that aren't really makeup as makeup is what you're looking at here to help with disguises. So that's what it'll do. That'll be for like changing hair color, making people look dirty or something like that sort of thing.
How like because when I'm disguising multiple people myself, how should I quantify how many uses of this substance I have or stuff?
I think you just need to periodically refresh it. And
Per campaign.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll kind of play it by ear. I'm not too concerned about that. Some of that sort of stuff is going to be around the ship anyway. The ship has tar, for example. You can get charcoal.
Like clays and powders and stuff.
And chalk is available. So 15 gold pieces, and that'll cover. Unless you're just going like absolutely nuts, disguising everyone all the time.
No, it's just
right. I understand. I'm just saying that unless you're doing that, unless I feel I need to rein it in, just the occasional 15 gold piece expense should cover it.
Alright, I will make a note 15 gold piece per refresh. Wherever that is.
Yep. All right. Okay.
Cool.
Did anyone else want to do anything before the your translator showed up?
I wasn't know. Is it really hard to get a parchment book then, at the very least? If you said that's the most common material.
I mean, it's going to be expensive. Books are expensive.
Yeah. How expensive? Oh, is it more than 100 gold or for a 50-page book?
Let me take a quick look.
Because I knew a 100-page book was 250 gold. At least that was the price I paid last time. I never listed the price for a 50-page book.
Yeah, I need to look up some prices. Yeah, so 50, you're looking at 135 gold pieces.
Oh, sorry. I'll pay that if I'm able to source it here.
Yeah.
No, I'll make a note that it's made out of parchment.
Yep. And that does have a leather cover kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, other than, I don't think it has any practical use other than I say I've got a thing for note taking.
Sure. You feel like you've filled up the last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've had it for like months.
All right.
A year probably, so.
It's perfectly fine. Yeah, so you'll be able to. I'll say that you were able to get that. The Shipwrights Guild probably would have had some for sale because they would use that sort of thing.
At the end of last session, I asked if I could spend time to learn one spell, and you said that it's okay. And the spell I would like to learn is water breathing.
Okay. Go ahead and make your learn roll.
It's a useful spell. Don't you have access to the priest version?
I don't have
You've got elemental water. It's in
only
elemental
minor,
water. Yeah. It's third level.
and I think I want to.
Right?
Well, not with that roll.
Oh, you failed to learn it.
That happens.
It's the Lafdul curse again.
Yeah.
He spoke up.
I blame Lafdul.
I wasn't even trying. That's the thing. I was just saying you've got a priest version of it. Use the priest one.
And now the dice gods have said, remember now you do have the priest version available. It happens. All right, so yeah, that one is unfortunately beyond you, so you're not able to learn that.
And it's a day wasted then.
I mean, in terms of you don't spend the whole day on that, but
Yeah, but not enough time to try something else.
no. All right. Anyone else have anything that they wanted to do before your translator arrived? Okay. I did have a real quick question for Braxon. You had asked for a magical spyglass. Are you just thinking of a spyglass that has greater amplification powers?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I figured. Just wanted to double check because there are other sorts that might be available.
Oh, there are.
Well, there might be.
Oh, there might be ones that see invisible things or something like that.
Probably.
Yeah. So the Rastipede shows up, gives you greetings, and Leva. Lafdul, are you going to just try to disguise her rather than polymorph her?
Polymorph her?
Rather than her polymorphing because of the time. It might be something worth trying.
I mean, I can try. I mean, as long as she wears a hood, then it shouldn't be too difficult.
Leva memorized 3 polymorph self.
I mean, yeah, I'll disguise you anyway, but once your polymorph wears out, you would just look like you're disguised, so. Worst case.
Alright, what is your disguise proficiency?
It's gonna be pretty bad for an elf. Disguise is a 15 -1, but I think it's like half a score for an elf, so it's like a 7. To make them not look like an elf. I'm gonna check that. Sorry. Oh, well, that's happening.
Okay. And the reason why I'm doing that, I'm suggesting that is just because of the duration of polymorph can be a limiting factor. If you go with disguise, you might have an easier time of.
Yeah. A character can disguise himself as a member of another race. In this case, a -7 penalty is applied to the proficiency check. A character, so it's just a -7.
Okay.
So it's -8 in total from a 15.
All right.
Oops.
Yeah, that's pretty hard to do an elf to a half-elf or something. Even so, I wouldn't want you to be even a half-elf. You would have to be human.
So, yeah, but the thing is like, I would say to an extent that it's a lot harder to disguise a human as a dwarf rather than a human as an elf or an elf as a human. Just because your body sizes and shapes are more closely aligned. But the good news is that I rolled low enough that you did succeed. You can tell you did a good enough job, especially if she keeps her hood up.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't actually state whether or not I can do it on another person.
No, it doesn't.
Himself.
It doesn't. But especially in this case, I'm going to allow it. I've allowed it in the past as well.
All right.
I've always had it that it's not as good kind of thing, because part of disguise is also a little bit of acting and stuff like that. But
because Lafdul is so ecstatic with his success, he's writing these notes down in his book. Whether or not it will have any effects later on, who knows?
All right,
like, must do this, must do that.
So Leva has been successfully disguised. Leva, I'll leave it up to you to decide if you want to use polymorph and stuff like that.
Well, there's no point, is there?
I mean, there might be. And, I mean, there's always using it later for other things, too, so.
Does Lafdul have to reroll disguising me?
Yeah, I have to roll separately for you.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone.
So
You should be easier, though.
You did disguise me last time already.
Yeah, but I have to do it per day, because one assumes you wash it off.
Yeah.
I think Leva will cast Polymorph Self, and she won't change herself very much from how she looks when disguised with Lafdul stuff, but it's a bit more real, I would think, like voice and
bulking
stuff like
out your form as well, because you wouldn't be so.
Yeah.
What do you call it? It begins with L. Lilith. So small. Yeah.
All right. You have successfully disguised Solas as well.
Oh. Lafdul's really happy with his materials he's purchased.
You're probably gonna fail at disguising yourself.
When it matters. No, I'm using my hat in disguise. I'm cheating.
Okay. Boo.
No, I'm covering up. I'm using my disguise proficiency to cover up my scent as best I can now.
Okay.
This is where the wind blows your hat off.
Yeah, I may or may not be furiously scribbling down ways to get that hat off of your head. No, I would never do that. No.
I mean, if someone knows I got it, they can just knock my hat off.
Yeah.
They say I can wear it as a necklace or something. I can make it.
A bird
Does it-
just...
Lafdul, don't you want to have a string under your head so it can't be blown off?
A bird
Are you
flies by
saying that in game?
and steals
Yes.
it.
It's probably a seagull too. Damn seagulls.
I don't think Lafdul's ever thought about the fact that this hat could just easily be knocked off. Yeah, but then I would have to affix it to my hat. And there's a chance I'll damage it. I mean, I could wrap some string around the hat.
You sort of attach a string and then you put it under your chin and you know.
All right, to a certain extent, you're overthinking it.
I attempt to secure my hat.
Yeah,
at this
no,
point.
it's actually okay, and there really isn't any wind here in this port anyway.
I was just kidding.
It is floating in the an asteroid floating in space. So, all right. So Thrasar does return mid-morning at the requested time, and he greets you and says, "Ah, my good friends. I did do a little looking into those items you requested. There is a water generation device that you can purchase. That one is at Port Mogoth. I do not have a price listed, however." So you would have heard about Port Mogoth. That's the one run by hobgoblins.
Oh, right. So it's
Uh,
different to the other pool.
Goblins the one that really hate the elves.
Yeah, Lafdul's not leaving the ship.
And he turns to you, Braxon, and says, "Unfortunately, I was not able to find a stock listing for a magical spyglass.
Okay, thank you very
But-
much for checking.
But if you give us 6 to 8, if you give us 1 to 2 months, I will be. I am sure that I can get one delivered."
Have
Thank
a
you very
ship to
much.
Brawl.
I'm not sure we'll be around that long, but
Could it be delivered to Refuge and you just or pick it up from Refuge?
well, we'd have to find our way to refuge.
Yeah,
so
but if it's like months down the line,
Yeah, but chances are, like,
Yeah.
unless you're gonna be there around the time that they have it, like within a couple weeks, they'd probably sell it.
yeah, and then make us another one when we turn up.
That brings up a thought. We visited the arcane, right?
At Refuge, yeah.
No, there was an arcane thing here, right?
You did not
Yeah.
see the arcane themselves, but yes, you did
But
visit.
these people work with the arcane. They would probably know where refuge is, and it could relative to the sphere.
Well, imagine going into a Walmart today and going to a clerk and saying, "Yeah, I would like an item ready for pickup," and assume that their computers are down or they don't have computers at all, and say, "Yeah, I'd like to have an item ready for pickup at this other Walmart store 10 states away in a small town." Like, they're gonna look at you like, "I don't even know if that exists."
I guess we could ask if there are any major settlements.
Well, you did ask about the arcane, and they don't there's a lot of rumors about the arcane, and the arcane are very, 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 very cagey and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
there's, and they're rumored to have their own kind of distribution network.
Okay.
So,
I
I mean,
was just wondering.
you can-
wondering if there was a way we could talk with like the arcane or something associated with the arcane and figure out generally where refuge is, and then figuring out where the other spheres are from there.
Well, the problem is more along the lines of
Fair
like,
fact.
will they have the information that you need to get back? Because you may have to go through places that, if the arcane have their own sort of distribution network that doesn't rely on actual spell jamming all the time,
Yeah.
then that's not going to help you. Because
Yeah,
they would
they-
be taking different routes to get to their facilities. They're extremely mysterious on how they get stuff.
I guess.
But I think you asked last session for some information about that, and Thrasar may have some information in that regard.
Okay.
Do you guys remember asking if we could help?
we were asking about their routes or something, how they got in. And they were talking about guides. We need a guide to get out.
Yeah, that's what I remember too.
Well, I mean, it's something that you
mean-
might want to present to him when he arrives in.
Yeah, I mean, really, going back to your Walmart thing, it's a bit like going to Walmart and meeting someone who comes from Germany and asking them how to fly to Germany, and they don't know how to fly.
Yeah.
They might have come here from refuge, but they might not know exactly where they went.
So I mean, like you can add, and the other thing is that the Arcane never do anything for free. So if they know a route to get you home to Brawl, you're either going to have to pay them or you're going to have to do them some sort of service.
Is there any limit on how many crystal rods I can buy?
Be reasonable. Like that's
Well,
that's,
billion.
that's the limit. But let's focus on the issue at hand.
Could I buy 100?
No, that's not reasonable.
50?
I mean, if you want to buy that many, then they'll have to make them, and it'll take time.
Be lucky if you get 20.
I think 20 would be the upper limit, and that would assume that they're gonna make some more for you.
Well, I'll buy the 20.
Okay.
What
Well-
spell's that for?
Lightning spells.
I want all the lightning spells. I want 100 rods.
So, do you want to assume that
mean-
you asked Thrasar about if the Arcane would have information about getting back to Brawl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he will then turn to you, Big Mac, as a captain, and say, I did consult with the management, and they know of some routes that may get you back there. It sounded like some of them would be quite dangerous, but they would require a payment or service in exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And as
Okay.
I understand it, the payment would be quite high.
Ah, right. So higher than just sending us charts.
Correct.
Okay. What sort of service do they need done?
I did not request details on that, but I understand that they have some, shall we say, concerns with one of the empires here in the sphere. They believe they may be getting helms from another source, and they would like that addressed.
Okay. I'll put that to the other people in the company and see if that's something they want to take on.
Very well. Now, where did you want to go today?
Was that's all being translated through Lever, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. So Braxon can pretty much discuss it with Lever and the others.
I would like to visit the Master Potters.
Well, I'm not there. I
Whoa.
I gave you my shopping
Ow.
list. And I'm on the ship watching our captives.
Well, everyone's on the ship right now.
Okay.
Yeah. We're about to set off.
So this guy came to meet us on the ship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's start with like ship's business first rather than personal business
Okay.
for where you guys want to go.
What do people think about the idea of working for the Arcane? Chasing down someone selling helms?
I mean, if it helps us get out of here, I'm fine with it.
It depends what we have to do. Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's my thoughts. We don't know what faction is obtaining
We
helms.
just
and what they're doing.
be enforcing the Arcane's market hold on this, so basically cutting off their supply.
Yes. So does that go against our principles or not?
I mean, in this sphere, Lafdul doesn't really care.
Yeah, I don't really care.
I mean,
Okay.
we're out for ourselves. We want to live at the end of the day. Unfortunately, yeah.
I'm fine working with the Arcane to do what we need to get done.
It's a pretty neutral contract anyway.
Again, it depends on what we need to do. Solas will not do any evil actions.
Yeah,
Anything he considers evil.
I agree with Solas. We don't want to agree to do
it can
something.
be evil, but I'd like to hear the details.
Yeah.
So he'll go back, like he'll get you the details and return the following day.
Yeah. Well, we could still go out for the day, couldn't we?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he at the end of when you dismiss him, he'll go back and talk to management essentially.
This was. Can I retcon something?
Maybe.
There was a note for me. I've only just noticed it to cast memory before the day's over.
Oh, on
Red Njord.
Red Njord? Alright. Yeah, that's fine. He gets a saving throw.
Yeah. He gets either... Yeah, I think it's just +1.
Yeah, he... I think we realized it was +5, though.
+5?
Yeah, because wasn't it it's an old memory.
Oh, yeah, it's a...
Yeah.
Yeah. So not an old memory, it's a secret memory.
Yeah.
And it was... if it's between 1 and 4 years, it's +1. 5 years, +3.
Okay. So
it's less than
+4 because it's a secret, and +1
from the year
for the
duration.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that does not work.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna take a while, though.
Can Finn make a confession tea?
Don't think so.
Yeah, nothing in his current recipe book.
Oh, Solas, did you get your materials for your suspended animation?
No, that's not available here. At this port.
Say, well, I don't know whether Braxon would know to ask after this.
Well, I mean, you can ask, and then I'll let you know.
Okay. Right. You know when you read the mind of that guy we met in the last sphere we were in, and he had a spell cast on him that made him talk about stuff?
Yeah, I was using magic to amplify my charisma to persuade him.
No,
I am not asking for permission when I do this.
Oh, yes. No, that's not what I'm talking about. We had someone, and one of Red Njord's people used a spell on that guy to persuade him to give information. And
yeah, that was generic. That's generic charm magic. I do not have access to that.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say maybe you could use his memories to see if you can work out how that spell works. But if it's not a spell you've got, then no.
Fortunately, no. I need charm or something.
And wasn't the person that casted the charm magic the Aurak?
Well, we think we figured out it was the Aurak doing that.
Old?
Yep.
Are they still sleeping?
2 of them are. One of them is not. The dwarf and Njord are asleep. The sorceress is not.
Finn, are you going to feed them some more tea? Or
Not
feed
until
her
they
some
wake
more
back
tea?
up. I think leaving her awake is okay.
Okay.
Let's not use up all the. Let's not use up all my supplies of tea just to put one out.
You able to get more?
Right.
Probably not around here.
I mean, it's specific herbs.
What?
Yeah,
What's the environment for that one again?
Mountain slopes.
Yeah, it's not going to be available here. I can't. There's one that requires like stuff from caves, right?
Caverns. That would be Nevermind.
Yeah, so that stuff will be available here. Not at the port. You'd have to go out and look for it. but that stuff should be available here.
Okay.
All right, so Thrasar is still asking, what's the first order of business that he takes you to? Like, do you need more ship supplies?
I mean, yeah, we've been purchasing components out of game, but I suppose that would be some stuff we'd be doing, going around various shopping districts.
Well, you did get some stuff from the Shipwrights Guild because they're also a temple, so they're going to have priestly components easily. And yeah, like he'll take you around to other places afterwards, like to get some other stuff. But specifically, like, do you need any ship supplies first?
Should we get some manacles? I mean, I don't think we took the ones off Red in your ship. I mean, we get prisoners, we need to be able to restrain them.
Yes.
Sometimes. I mean, it's a bit... In the end of the day, I'd rather not lose a crewman than over my conscience of tying someone up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds good.
We need to get some food, I think. I don't think we got any food on Chislev.
I want to see if I can get some manacles or something that I can fit within my pouch. I'm just going to do a generic search. Like one pair of manacles.
I mean, manacles are typically really heavy iron.
Yeah. Right.
You could probably fit them in, but they're not, like...
Within the weight limit?
Well, they probably would be, but, they're not like modern handcuffs.
No, they're like these massive, great big,
Yeah.
like, wrist things.
Yeah.
I might have to get commissioned some mithril ones that I liked.
But yeah, like he can definitely take you to a shop that sells some stuff like that.
Should we buy some? And this is a good question to the group, because this would be a group thing more than my personal. I was thinking about getting some for myself, but this is like, should we buy some for the ship?
Well, we could do with 3 at the moment.
Yeah, so is that alright if this gets put on company funds, if this isn't going to cost too much?
Well, we need
How
to be a
much
bit
did they
careful
cost?
about.
Yeah, how much are they costing? Vaguely. I assume they wouldn't cost too much.
We need to be a bit.
Yeah, I'm. Let's see. I don't know that manacles have ever been written up. I will say we'll go with 5 gold pieces for ones that are of a quality that you would want, that lock. You get the key. You get spare keys for, and that's per person.
That's pretty reasonable.
And that would include ones that go that attach the wrists and ankles.
That sounds quite reasonable, I think. That was 15 gold pieces for 3 people. Will we ever have more than 3 prisoners?
I mean, it's probably better if we just get 5. Well, now 3, because we got 3 prison cells.
I mean, it is also, like, it's iron, so it is subject to rust and stuff like that.
Oh, it's not steel then, it's like cast iron or
just,
something.
Yeah, it's just iron.
5 pieces? Yeah, 5.
Each get 5, Clive. So you got a couple spares.
And those are just going to have standard locks on them.
Mm-hmm. Well, the average person can't pick a lock.
What's that, 25 gold?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, isn't there like a flat percent of someone to pick a lock if you're not a thief?
No. There's no chance. If you're not a thief,
I
if
thought
you're
it
not
was
a,
like a
no.
5%
If you're not a thief, your option is break, break or magic.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't think you're going
which is what you do if you don't have a thief in the party. Break the door or cast magic. All right,
I don't think you're going to get fantastic locks here.
No.
Actually, like, you can get some decent locks here. Some pretty decent locks. The Protector's Docks, which is also a temple to Gaknalak, is very like there's a lot of machines there. They do a lot of stuff. Like, you don't say this, but one thing that Braxon, you especially, would think going in is like, wow, it seems like a more sane Tinker Gnome facility.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
They probably take a lot of pride in being more sane than the gnomes.
They even know what gnomes are.
I mean, they may not have encountered gnomes here, but they definitely know what gnomes are. And yeah, if you went in and said, "Hey, wow, this is like a Tinker Gnome facility," in a language that they can understand, yeah, you might have some spears in your gut.
But you include, but a lot more sane and functional.
Even so. May not like backhanded compliments. Alright, so Thrasar will take you first to a place to get some manacles. And it'll be a shop run by a hobgoblin, and unfortunately, it's also a shop that sells a variety of other things that you would definitely not want to purchase in the realm of torture devices for slaves.
Yeah.
So, and prisoners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Along the way, you do pass by, like on the outer edge of a public square, and your guide Thrasar translates for you what's going on, tells you what's going on. Apparently, they caught a thief breaking into someone's house and stealing, and he is up for execution after his trial.
What race?
Kobold.
Yeah.
And so it's turned into a public spectacle. You don't stay long enough. There's like a listing off of his crimes and the punishment, the penalties, and etc.
Does that seem the norm?
Seems pretty normal.
Do you think that kobold knows anything useful about getting out?
I probably would sell himself out in order to free himself.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's...
I mean, it's a random kobold.
We don't know who this person is.
How much would you think it might know?
I don't know. I mean, it could be any kobold. Might be Meeple. No, sorry. Braxon wouldn't know Meepo.
I mean, if you want to wade into this crowd of onlookers that includes hobgoblins, kobolds, goblins, and ogres.
There's nothing out of there. If it was an elf, yes. No for a kobold.
So yeah, it definitely looks like punishments are harsh for crimes around here.
That's why I haven't tried to get...
Well, I mean, if he knew anything useful, we could buy him and say we'll buy him as a slave and then set him free and ask him to help us.
If you want to pose that question, it's up to you. But...
Yeah, well, I don't know how useful
it's just a random kobold thief so far.
Yeah, that's it. Their justice system. So
I don't see a reason to interfere.
Although that kind of person would know, like, the equivalent of a local thieves guild here, and the thieves guilds tend to know a lot of stuff.
That's true.
I mean, you easily got the info about the thieves guild in Riorx.
Yeah, that's kind of my gimmick.
Yeah, you just need to wave around insane amounts of money.
Or do that weird hand symbol stuff you do.
Wow, you've been looking. Lafdul insults Ockar in Thieves Camp.
Say,
I don't know what that means.
Good.
Lafdul, don't you have a spell for talking into people's heads?
Yeah. I do not have that memorized. Well,
No,
actually, I
it's
might have it memorized. Yeah, but I'm casting in the middle of a crowd. I'm not casting in the middle of a crowd.
Also, could we really trust him to
He would say anything to save himself.
tell us truthfully if he knows or doesn't know?
Yeah, maybe not, but we're going to have to trust someone.
Yeah, I would not trust someone who is, even if it's their justice system has been
Speaking of,
basically pretty much guaranteed to be proven to be thief and
Yeah, I'm just thinking that this kobold has a motivation to want to come with us.
I don't
Yeah,
see a
we would
reason
also-
to help
yeah, but
them
the
though.
motivation doesn't.
Well,
we would suddenly make ourselves very unpopular with the local authorities.
there is that. Yeah, okay. Right, well, we'll have to find someone else then. Shame you haven't got that spell though. Otherwise, you could talk to him.
I
And see
do
if you can
have the
understand our
spell.
languages.
But that's like,
We don't want to be casting spells that are obvious in.
how far away is it? If it's more than 30
Probably-
yards, I'm not even.
No,
gonna try.
it's not more than that. It's about 40 feet. You're skirting a public square area.
Also,
And there's a crowd.
Also, wouldn't you have to know the language to be able to
Not in telepathy.
communicate?
Nope. I can speak to any language in telepathy. I mean, like, then we would have to save him and everything.
Just, I don't see a reason why we need to get involved.
Well,
I mean,
if-
how much does this mean to you, Braxon? I could do it, but you know.
Well, no, it's not that. I'm just thinking we need someone, and there's someone there that might have a reason to not want to betray us because they need to get off this place.
I don't see why we need to get involved with their justice system.
Because
You're
we
also
need-
making the assumption that he actually knows how to get to other ports.
He might not. Yeah, he might not. He might be useless.
It's quite likely that he would not know. If he knew the routes to other ports, he would most likely be working as a guide.
Yeah.
What
And
type
not
of, what
as
did
a
he
thief.
steal? Do we learn of his crimes exactly?
He
Let's
did not.
gauge his
Well, that's
ability.
the thing is that he did not successfully steal anything. He was caught in the act.
What was he trying to steal? What was he
he
trying
was-
to break into?
He was trying to break into one of the powerful homes of essentially like the city has a council, so he was breaking into the home of a council member.
All right.
So you're talking talking, you know, the wealthy elite of the community.
So I asked the Rastapede, how often does this happen? Is this a weekly thing, a monthly thing?
Oh, it can vary. Most thieves don't usually get punishment like this. Some of them are sent to, if their things are minor, like stealing a pouch from someone on the street, they may lose a hand or be sent to hard labor. But the crimes here are the punishments fit the crime. So trying to break into the house that has considerable wealth and value inside carries a higher penalty. This sort of punishment is not terribly common. The lesser punishments.
Because he
Much
didn't
more.
even break in, did he?
No, he
just
did break
failed
in.
to
He did break in.
Oh.
He was caught inside.
He broke an enter and he's facing the punishment for that. He went for one of the leaders of the city. I don't see a reason why we should help him.
Yeah.
He committed a crime and he's facing the punishment for it.
I'm willing to bet that we can find someone.
Yeah, but it's not very
Yeah,
often you
way
find
easier
someone
than, we could get him
that
to
is
help us.
confident enough to break into the noble house. They must be at least be reasonably good.
Or dumb enough.
And
All dumb enough.
I think it's less skilled and more stupid.
Yeah, but how often does that happen on Brow in my Thieves Guild? How many stupid thieves have I encountered?
Probably not
no.
many because most of them are dead.
Most of them are dead or captured. Yeah.
Alright, so...
Well, the whole underside is full up with
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
petty
no.
criminals that
I
got
mean,
captured.
Lafdul's not so in on the thieves when they're all out and about. He probably wouldn't know them that well anyway. So, but it's like, oh, so and so got captured, killed. Someone I probably would have heard.
But your guild is the one that is most likely to break into that sort of house.
Hmm. No, Lafdul's lost interest in this.
Braxon says, "Oh, very well. Let's get on there."
No, I get the idea of what you're going for, and I mean there is merit to it, but at the same time,
Yeah.
We would have to have a guaranteed proof that he would be in any way useful, and also that he was accused falsely. Since Solas would not accept helping someone who broke the laws and is facing the
appropriate justice.
lawful punishment.
And this is lawful punishment here.
Is his fate's already been decreed, so to speak? I mean,
yeah, he's had his
right,
trial.
so-
He's had his trial. This is the carrying out the sentence portion.
All right, no, that's fine.
Well, in that case, I suggest we let this diversion keep people occupied while we get around our business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, less people on the street.
So Thrasar guides you to the shop where you're able to make the purchase of those manacles. The hobgoblin there running the facility is more than happy to try and describe all the other devices that he has for punishing wrongdoers and such like that. But I assume that you guys make your purchase and get out as quickly as you can.
The passing thought of, because it was recently brought to my memory about the priest of Levalithana, and I was like, yeah, I bet a priest of Levalithana would love it in here. Gives him the creeps.
Well, where do you wish to visit next?
Do we have authorship or group things we need to buy?
Are there any human mercenaries here, hirelings, that are just looking to leave?
No, I'm waiting when I can get to buy stuff that I need to roleplay to buy.
Yeah, no, he was asking me. So Thrasar, you're asking Thrasar if there are any human mercenaries?
Yeah.
Thrasar says, no, we occasionally get humans here through here, but I don't know of any right now. Your best bet would probably be to visit a tavern, see if anyone is aware of any recent human arrivals or departures.
Yeah, it's a little hard to do when you don't speak the language. Unless you use magic to do so.
And he's happy to he's also happy to I mean, he's happy to take you to taverns, although it's probably a little too early to get much good out of them.
Yeah, early in the day.
Yeah, because it's like maybe noonish now.
Braxon says to the others, if we're after crew here, don't forget that we could also find some place that sells slaves and then liberate them. And then see if they want to work for us.
I don't know how I feel about giving money to slavers, even if it is to just liberate them.
That's
Well-
money for a good cause, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we would be giving money to the slavers, which would fund them being able to get more slaves.
Yeah, but what's more
even
important,
if we're-
the life or the money?
It would save people that we wouldn't
but
normally
it-
be in a position to
but
save.
it-
Yeah,
but,
alright.
but we would
But
also
it-
be supporting the Institute of
we
There's
would be
upsides and
supporting
downsides.
buying
the.
those slaves and freeing them.
If we
because they
buy
would-
the slaves, we would be supporting those that capture slaves, which means that we would be funding the slavery of other people.
But at least you'd be able to free some.
Yeah, but
If we're short on
There's-
crew, it's an option at the end of the day.
Yeah.
yeah,
Under
I'm just
other,
not comfortable with it.
no, me neither. I'm not comfortable being in this sphere. Under other circumstances, I'd rather be signing up with the pragmatic order of thought and going out to hunt slavers. But if we need crew and we can't find crew and there are slaves, we can free slaves. Some of them might be useful, and if they're not useful, we can drop them off somewhere if they don't want to come along with us.
Is there the equivalent of like fungal berries or anything? I know it's really far-fetched, but I'm just putting it out there because we're in a sphere we don't know about.
Not fungal berries. You're thinking about...
Fungal fruiting of some kind, I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, the mushroom part of a fungus is essentially the fruit. It's, like, depends on what you're asking. Are you just asking for food?
Is there, like, some kind of, like, hybrid between, like, a fungus and, like, a bush or something? I don't know.
Right, but what's the purpose of asking? Like, goodberry?
Yeah, I guess.
No, it's not going to work with goodberry. There is a lot of fungal food that you can get here.
We probably should have to refresh our food.
Yeah, we do need some more food. I don't think we've had a chance to get it on Chislev.
Do you want to go to, like, there's kind of a big store that handles ship supplies. Terzok's Goods. Do you want Thrassar to take you there?
Could do, yeah. I thought everyone else was getting their supplies.
Well, I
have.
I had asked for starting off with the ship's stuff. The ship's...
Yeah, cool.
You know,
Okay.
start with the ship business, because that's kind of the most important, and then individual stuff can be handled, especially if some people want to go back to the ship or something like that, because they don't have anything that they want to do.
Yeah.
So do you want to go to Terzok's Goods and purchase some food?
Please.
Okay. All right. So Thrassar leads you through the town, heading back towards the docks, because that's where this shop is. And as you're going, the streets are crowded, and at one point you get kind of in a thick crowd. You're making little headway, and there's just an ogre striding through the crowd, you know, like knocking the kobolds out of the way, and he's clearly gonna, you know, cross right through your group. You can tell that he's not like coming at you intentionally. He's just moving through, and you're in the way. Would you guys make way for him, or would you?
Sorry, who?
An ogre, just an ogre moving through the crowd. He's like knocking the kobolds out of the way.
Can we change course?
Not exactly, because you're kind of in a thick crowd. It's noon, so it's lunchtime.
I would probably give way, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind moving out of the way.
Okay. I just wondered if you were gonna intentionally stand your ground, kind of thing, and make an issue of it. But if you're gonna open up
I'm
and
not
let
looking
it
to
go
start
by.
fights here.
I don't see a reason why we should make a nuisance of ourselves.
All right.
Yeah,
Just
getting
how
into a
it is.
street brawl is probably not the best course of action.
All right, so you make an opening so that this ogre can move by you without an issue, and then get back underway and get to Terzok's Goods. Also, along the way, you passed one of the taverns that Thrassar suggests you visit if you want information, like about human mercenaries or something like that, or other human visitors. It has a sign outside of a weasel with its mouth covered in blood, you know, clearly as if it has just bitten the neck of something. There's the bleeding neck of some creature. That part's not detailed enough. You know, it may have been a human, a hobgoblin, a goblin, a kobold, any one of those. And he points that out and says, "That's the Weasel's Bite. That is probably the most popular tavern for sailors. Good place to get rumors if that's what you wish, but it is fairly rough and tumble, so keep that in mind." And that would be for more in an evening type situation.
Sounds good.
But he does. You do eventually get to Turzok's goods, and upon entering, you see a kobold behind the counter, and he is in a shouting match with a customer. This customer is similarly of a similar height, but very different from the kobold. Almost dwarf-like in appearance, but with kind of stringy blonde hair, pale skin, and a thick mustache. And they're clearly shouting about something. Finally, the customer. What was that?
Is it in Goblin?
It's in Kobold.
Mm.
Thrassar kind of says they're just having a dispute about pricing or quality of goods. Finally, the customer slams his hand on the counter and walks out. As he's doing that, as he's walking out, he sees you, spits on the ground, and says something in not Kobold, another language.
To who?
To all of you. Keep in mind, you're all taller than him, so.
Did our translator recognize? Tell us what he said.
No, Thrassar says, sorry, I do not speak that language.
And none of us recognized.
No, although it sounds similar to Dwarvish.
I know Dwarvish at least. Do I know any similar words?
Just sounds similar.
Yeah, it's similar. You can't translate it though.
So I would guess it's either Duergar or Dero.
You I mean you don't know what it is, and it's short. Like he's just it's like a short phrase or a word or something like that. And he walks out.
Probably doesn't like humans, considering we all look like humans currently.
If it sounds like Dwarvish, Braxon will say in Dwarvish.
Oh God.
Politely.
Right. No. So it sounds similar, but it's definitely not. Like you can't translate it. You don't know what he says.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I'm saying if it sounds similar to Dwarvish, Braxon, I think he might speak Dwarvish.
Okay.
So, he says, "I'm afraid I didn't understand you in Dwarvish."
Does he turn around?
Oh yeah, he wheels around at your words and starts shouting at you. And Thrassar says, that was a bad idea, and he immediately starts speaking in Kobold, trying to calm the situation down while motioning you guys to go up to the counter and talk to the Kobold.
I'm going to grab Braxton by the arm and pull him towards the counter with me.
I'm going to see if I can intimidate him slightly with my short sword.
I'm going to drag Lafdul away too.
You don't know what I'm doing.
Solas is going to be telling...
I see that gleam in your eye. I know you're going to do something bad.
I mean, you would know the second he pulls that short sword out.
No, I just have to hold it and like pull it out of sheath ever so slightly for it to affect.
Let the translator handle it. Come on.
You have to pull it completely out.
Oh, I do.
All right, sorry, what were you saying, Solas?
Solas is going to be saying to Braxon that, yeah, we were warned that dwarves are not popular here, so don't
use that language.
Don't talk in Dwarvish.
Yeah, he's now gonna wonder why you know this language.
Well, no, you look like humans.
Yeah, but speaking a language that is really odd here.
Level leans across the counter and asks the guy there, what did he say to us?
What language are you speaking in?
Trade tongue. Illicit trade tongue.
Okay, he does respond to you. He kind of gives you a surprised look and then says, I'm sorry, what did you ask him?
I said, what did this guy say? What did he want from us?
He says, I don't know, I don't speak their language, but whatever you did pissed him off. He was already riled up. Didn't like the quality of the goods he got here. But he kind of snorts at him and gives a dismissive wave towards the customer, who is now being like he's now turned and stormed out of the building. And he says, "But they're never happy. What can I do for you?" While he's saying that to you, Thrasar comes up and says, yes, I would recommend avoiding using whatever language you used there. He had some very unkind words to say about you. He called you dwarf friends. I do not think that was meant as a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Braxon smiles at him. Fair enough.
Braxon the diplomat.
Mm-hmm.
So the kobold behind the counter, he is the eponymous Turzok. He says, "What do you need?" You can see around the shop, all the basic staples for sailing. You got sailcloth, rope.
Can I assess the quality
lumber.
of an appraisal? Because it was mentioned about the quality not being what he wants. So it's now making me question it.
Yeah, do you have anything more relevant? Because this is more of a sailing thing than an appraisal thing.
I'm trying to think.
Lafdul, didn't you need linen? Aren't there things here that are made of linen?
No, because linen doesn't grow here.
Mm.
It would
have
all be
similar
like
growth
parchment
linen.
sails or something. I don't know. Leather sails, I guess.
I mean, they most likely have some kind of cloth, but it's not linen.
I guess, I don't know, herbalism, healing, something I'm more familiar with. I mean,
Hang on.
price-wise, gems,
You're
spell
off.
components. I mean, yeah, it's a generic shop, but if I can appraise the average value of stuff that I do know based on the proficiency I have, I might have a rough idea of everything
Yeah.
else.
If you're after cloth, wouldn't they be able to make cloth from like spider webs or something?
I need specific materials, not generic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
they have
the-
cloth. They have cloth. Like the rope is not hemp rope here. It's similar in strength and sturdiness, as far as you can tell.
Fungal fibers.
So yeah, like let's say you look at the rope, since you're familiar with rope for climbing purposes and stuff like that, and you would say that it's definitely made out of something other than hemp. You're not
We
sure
like to touch
exactly
the
what it
stuff.
is. Yeah. He's got stuff out. that
So
you can look at.
I get a piece of rope and I stretch it, taunt it. It's looking like I'm assessing the quality of it.
Yeah. As far as you can tell, it's standard quality for the rope, at least.
Well, we do need to resupply on food.
Do we need any nautical rope?
I mean, rope gets just used up. It frays and snaps and stuff like that.
So probably have to buy some.
So
I mean, we captured a ship recently, so we probably would have stolen half the stuff off that ship.
Well, they needed a lot of that stuff to get those ships back too.
We have spares.
So the prices are pretty standard. You can get. He quotes you a price of 500 gold pieces for 2,400 man days of provisioning. That includes a variety of sailcloth, rope, extra replacement tools, a handful of replacement tools, nails, all of that stuff, as well as food. And he goes over some of the food. There's dried meat, and he is quite proud of his high-quality roth meat,
I
which
should say if it was that.
Leva is at least familiar with roth, deep roth. It's a cow-like subterranean bovine, essentially. So it's going to taste a lot like standard beef and jerky and stuff like that. And he's got a variety of flours, which will make into bread and stuff like that. As well as cheese, butter made from the roth. How much do you need? It'll be delivered. You just put in the order and it'll be delivered to your ship.
Who's keeping track of our provisions again?
So how much food? You were saying, I don't know about the other stuff, but with the food, you were saying that on Brow it was sold in lots of 2,400 man days for 500 gold pieces.
Yeah, it's the same price.
Same price.
Yeah.
I suppose we'll have a couple of those.
All right, so 1,000 gold pieces for 4,800.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and Braxon, you look over the equipment that you're likely to get, and the quality seems fine to you. Some of the materials are different. The sailcloth and the rope, like Lafdul was looking at. It's definitely not made out of hemp or burlap, which is what you're familiar with, what you'd expect. But it seems to serve the same purpose. Like, it seems to be about the same quality. So you it's nothing special. It's neither good nor bad, as far as you can tell.
As long as it's passable, I'm content at the very least.
I'm not sure how much of that we need. I don't think we were keeping track of that.
Well, it's a good time to start then.
Let's see. Add wood before weapons.
Considering we've only got 662, if that's our current total, then yeah. That's man days of food.
Yeah.
600 is very, very not much.
How much does an average ship?
That's like a week's worth of food right now.
It's probably another 500 in all honesty.
I mean, you'll be going to some other
Oh.
ports too, so you can always
4,800.
4,800. 4,800 will cover you for quite a while.
A while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do that and then figure out what more you need. Especially before you eventually leave the sphere.
Because we had a water tax, I assume our water's refreshed. So
yeah, your water's full.
That could be put back to 8,400.
Yeah, I will do. Well, it would have been back to that before then. When
they'll top off your water when you leave too.
Yeah,
they'll
air
top
would
off
be
your water.
Starting at 8,400 as well.
All right. Is there anything anyone else wants? Like this shop has general supplies as well, so things in the player's handbook if there's something that someone has just thought of or something that someone wants to roleplay out purchasing. Otherwise, this is where you'll end up purchasing, like hand mirrors and stuff like that.
This is like generic goods. Do they have any unusual exotic materials like dragon hides or anything like that? Just out of curiosity.
No, they don't.
Do they have mirrors?
Yeah, they do.
Ah.
Generally,
How big and how much?
well, he has some small hand mirrors and similar sized mirrors.
You know what's
Nah, for the moment, I'm good with small mirrors with small fragments.
That's what Lafdul does. Lafdul buys leather, a really nice elven mirror leather, smashes it immediately. Oh, I need mirror fragments. It's like Lafdul's like heartbroken.
No. Lever will hug Lafdul and say, "Oh, it's so nice of you, Lafdul. Thank you very, very much." And
No,
then
I
she'll
only
turn around and smash it.
I mean, it's mine. I can do what I want with it.
And then the more mirrors you smash, the more natural ones you'll be rolling for a while.
Oh, maybe that's what happened with Braxon. He broke some mirrors before the campaign started.
He broke an entire house of mirrors.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, if they're, I'm sorry, what was that?
question for you:
Yes.
are there cats in this place?
No.
Not at all.
There wouldn't be any elven cats, put it that way.
No, I'm not talking about elven cats. I need cat fur.
Oh.
No cats.
Well, actually, I need no. I mean, I'm looking around for cats everywhere, and I'm stroking them, and I collect the hair that falls off them.
You say cats, you mean like panther? Can it be big cats like panthers, displacer beasts, or does
I
it
don't
have
know.
to be specifically?
If it doesn't specify, then I would say any normal cat, i.e., that would include big cats too. I would probably not include displacer beasts or cat chimera type things in that.
So
says-
jaguars,
It says
lions,
cat
and
fur.
stuff.
Cat fur.
Yeah, if it just
Nothing
needs
else.
cat fur, it's just cat fur.
Yeah.
Now, depending on the spell, if it's like what
You
spell
might
is this
find
for?
some puma.
What spell is this for?
Just a second, because I separated those. Cat fur inside a box. It's for there, not there.
Oh yeah, Schrodinger's cat. Yeah.
Should be any cat.
Well, right,
Is
but
it?
it's
Oh,
yeah,
terrible.
that's Schrodinger's cat. Like the spell component is
Mhm.
Schrodinger's cat. Yeah. So
only we
I
still
would
had
say
that-
I would say non-magical cats.
If only we
That's
still
what
had
I
that.
figured. But I mean, would it need a big box for big cat fur?
No, because you don't need a whole lot of fur.
Yeah. Okay.
If only we still had our ranger with his pet cat.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure he left because Lever kept shaving his cat.
no.
Yes,
Why does my
what
cat
you
keep losing
have
hair?
seen in terms of pets appear to be weasels, giant weasels, and boars, and of course the deep growth.
Yeah. That
Oh,
was-
Plenty
yeah.
of bacon around them.
Mm.
Do they
Yeah,
sell guard boars?
If I use my locate animals and plant spell, could if I say cat, would it come at very variation of cat?
I would probably say you need to either specify small cats, big cats, and you'd have to specify a specific type of magical cat, which includes elven cats. Elven cats are magical cats. It wouldn't just be
Yeah.
any feline whatsoever. So yeah, if there's anything that you want that's in the player's handbook that is not, one of those things that I've already said isn't there, isn't here, you can purchase that here. Some of the materials may be different, like the sealing wax that Lafdul purchases is not made from bees. It's made from something
This-
else. You're not sure.
There's
But
some
it's
kind of
wax.
plant you can get, like candle wax plants, but
Yeah, I mean, there's
I'm
other
sure
ways.
their surface.
There's multiple types of wax available. Like, there's lots of wax available. So
It probably could be imported in bulk anyway, if not ground.
all right. Anything?
Finn,
Yeah, sorry.
Finn needs a couple of small horns for contact home power.
You'll probably need to get that elsewhere, but that'll be easy to get here in the port. Thrassar is gonna take you to some like the equivalents of alchemy shops, alchemists and herbalists and stuff like that after this, if that's what you guys want.
And how about flutes made of wolf's bone?
That's not going to be available.
Flutes made of wolf bone.
I have no
What's
idea
that
what spell that's for.
Solas is going to be needing to visit Master Potters.
For summon animal spirit.
No, that's one flute you make and you keep it. It doesn't get used up.
Oh, okay then.
You keep resummoning that same spirit.
Yeah, and I think it's just a whistle, isn't it?
Yeah, you make
Yeah,
a whistle from...
Whistle. Yeah. Yeah. So you already have that.
Okay.
Yeah, you already have that.
I have not been... I did not realize Contact Home Power was using up the horns.
Yeah, if it doesn't say that it doesn't use them up, then it...
Oh, that's going to be a problem for me.
Lara has used... There's so many spells that use droplets of oil that she thinks she has used up almost a canister. Can she buy some more?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they have plenty of oil. So, yep. Go ahead.
Would it be possible to buy chalk and grind it down into talc powder?
That's going to be covered by your just expenses.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a common thing.
The canister of oil is the first time that she actually consciously decides to buy more oil.
Okay. I'll actually say that, like, because there's so many different types of oil and it probably doesn't specify, that will be covered by your expenses too, because you only need drops.
Okay. There's only one oil that's specified, and I didn't even bring that up because I didn't think that was available here, and that's whale oil.
Yeah, that's not available here.
The horns are used up and thing.
Yep.
So make it loose. No,
Does Kindori oil work for whale oil?
Yes, that will work for
we
whale
used
oil.
it all.
All right. Yeah, and those horns will be... Actually, those horns you probably would have gotten at the Protector's docks, because they're priests. They have priests there, and that's a priest spell.
Alright, then I can buy a load for myself as well.
Does he sell bone vessels? General bone?
No, he does not.
Okay.
All right, you guys want to, and if you think of anything else that's in like the player's handbook that you want to purchase, you can either check with me if you're not sure about the availability, or if you are sure about the availability, just deduct it from your own expenses and say that you purchased it. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Okay. So Thrassar, after you've made your purchases and arranged payment, Thrassar says, "All right, where would you like to go next? I understand you need to visit some apothecaries and herbalists or the equivalents."
I will need to visit the Master Potters.
Well, I don't know if they'd be considered a master, but there are some potters around.
Well, we'll see what is their quality.
An artisan. Yeah.
Alright, so he will take you there, as well as take you around to some apothecaries and herbalists. You do discover on those visits that they do not have of a wide variety of herbs and such that you're used to. So you will not be able to get those, but you do pick up, other spell components that you need there. And you visit some pottery facilities. Now, since it does say a master potter, that would be someone very specific, and you do not think that there is the equivalent here.
Ah, pity.
If you ask around about that, through Thrasar, you will learn that the herbalist at Gorlgak's Rest is not a potter herself, but she apparently knows where there are some because she sells some very high quality ceramics in her shop.
Well, we'll need to visit her then most likely when we go to that port.
You do learn that she is apparently a leper as far as they know. So they warn you about that going in.
Okay.
A leper?
Yep.
So she's got leprosy?
Apparently.
Okay. Can any of us cure that?
Solas is carrying a staff that can cure it. I mean, we have the spells, don't we? We memorized it now.
She's not here. It's in another port.
Oh.
Curing it also doesn't reverse any of the damage.
Right.
So.
Probably need
Yep.
regeneration.
Yeah, but it'd stop it being a risk to us.
Or something stronger than, for example, like heal.
Alright, so Thrasar, after taking you to those shops, says, well, is there anywhere else that you'd like to go? Given the time, the taverns might have a wider selection of people that you could speak with if you wish to visit one of them. We passed by the Weasel's Bite. That's the most popular. If you want a bit more of an upscale one, I could take you to the Gnome Skull Brewers.
I'm not sure that we want to hire crew.
Well, not hire crew, but you could
Might
ask
have a human
about.
guide.
You could ask about things.
Yeah.
Taverns
asking about
are always a place to get rumors.
Finding that information might be useful, but I don't know what sort of people we'd get if we hired on crew here.
We can have something to eat there. I mean, we could probably pay for the recipe's dinner as well. I mean, if he's willing to translate for us.
Yeah.
Not everyone needs to go if not everyone wants to go.
I don't really want to go one that's crowded with hobgoblins, ideally.
Well,
if it's
it's
crowded,
it's gonna be mostly kobolds regardless because this is a kobold port.
Yeah. And I assume they're gonna have bouncers anyway, so.
Well, I know someone was talking about looking for humans before. We could see.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I was like, because we lost a couple of crewmen, it is something we may have to consider.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a kobold crewman or a human?
Well, would a kobold crew member accept elves in the crew?
Kobolds, yes.
If we have crew, they need to speak the same language as the rest of us.
That's why I was like, a human's most likely would.
Yep.
Well, you'll have to decide because Leva can't split up.
Yep.
She's quite prepared to go with the people, but she can only be in one place at the same time.
I say we go to the...
No, I'm quite happy to go see if we can pick any leads up.
Or should we go to like the higher, the gnome one? I say gnome one, the Gnome Skull Brewery. Is it Gnome Skull Brewery?
Yes.
Yeah. It's probably got a skull of a gnome outside.
Wouldn't surprise me. We'll try our luck there.
Okay.
Solas joins the party going to the tavern mostly out of interest in how bad is the brewing quality in here.
Oh, the morbid curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. I'll come along too.
Okay. Let's put
Yeah,
it this
come on,
way.
Bob.
All right. Is there anyone who's not going?
It's everyone.
Okay.
I guess
Wait,
they
if
don't
you're
want
going
it.
with... If Ocker's going with, that means the entire
Kim-
party's gone.
Oh wait,
Can-
yeah. I guess I'll stay behind and keep an eye on the ship while you guys go get drunk.
Can Braxon ask our guide, what
Can also
tavern
bring
is
stuff
more
on.
likely? What tavern's more likely to have people that help ships navigate between ports?
That would definitely be the Weasel's Bite.
Yeah, the commoner's one, but it's...
Well, it's not so much the commoners one as that's the popular sailors.
Well, we do need to find someone that will take us to another port.
You can get that done through the dockmaster, though.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they are a pretty much official job here.
Okay. Do you want to go to the other tavern then and see if we can get any decent
I
deals?
may not go in, depending on what's the ratios like in there, but I will see.
Yeah. Well, let's see if it's got windows. If it's got windows, we can have a look in.
Okay. So this is the Weasel's Bite that you're going to?
Your polymorph spell up, Lava. It's been like a
No.
couple hours, isn't it?
Yeah, it has been.
I think
You'd
we
have
were
to
going to go.
recast it.
I think
she
we were
better
going.
recast. She better recast one just in case.
All right.
Oh, it's fireball. Oh, there's a hole in the street or something.
No surge. So I'm going to assume that you at least took a brief stop off at the ship. Ockar, you wanted to stay at the ship?
Yeah, I'll stay at the ship and keep an eye on things while you guys go have fun.
Okay. And also to, like, drop off purchases that you made.
Yeah.
And that would be the time that Leva would cast Polymorph Self.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
So Thrusar guides you to the Weasel's Bite, and you can kind of look inside. It's a pretty big tavern, all things considered, given that it is kobolds. But the ceiling is surprisingly high for a kobold building.
You got ogres.
Yes, in fact, you can tell because one of the ogres is standing at the door, like scowling at everyone who comes in, arms crossed, kind of thing, and you can definitely tell that he's one of the guys who will grab you by the scruff of the neck and literally toss you out if you're causing trouble, and the tavern owner asks it. There's also two inside, you can tell through the windows. The windows are... Like, you can tell that there's two ogres in there by the size that they are. The windows are not great. There's definitely smoke has
Would we have known that there had been ogres at this time? Because I would have asked if Sunfire could come with us, considering he speaks a similar language.
Yes, because you did pass by this one. You would have seen the ogre outside.
Yeah, I'd ask him if he wants to come along, because you can speak the language. It might help us.
He would say, do you need me? I was
It would
studying
be
my...
No. I mean, it would be
studying my
appreciated,
texts,
but...
Well, I mean, like, do you really think you need him?
No, I mean, if we get in trouble with an ogre, he can at least delay the ogre.
I mean, because the ogres are going to speak more than one language here.
Yeah,
It's also entirely possible that the ogres don't speak ogrish here.
Oh.
If they've lived all their life in a kobold town.
Alright, we'll just go without him, I guess.
Okay.
You sound so disappointed.
I am.
He's definitely not the tavern person. Like you can tell that he's not the type to want to go to taverns very often. All right, so Thrusar guides you there. You'd say that the clientele is about 60% kobold. You can see an illithid in there. There are some goblins and hobgoblins. There's some other ogres besides the bouncers who are pretty obvious. Like, they make their presence known. There are kobolds serving drinks, and you can see a couple short figures, much like the one that you had the verbal altercation with at Turzok's Goods. And looks like there's a couple of Herwadi in there as well. Is he going in?
Horvati might be good crew.
Yeah, that might be okay. Should we see if they got anything like lemonade? I don't want to have something that might...
soft. You just get grog. It's watered down.
Yeah,
You're not going to get drunk off grog unless you have a lot of it.
I'm not worried about getting drunk. I'm worried about people spiking our drinks.
Really? Here? It leaves a reputation.
Eva says yes, please, when she's asked.
Well, you haven't been asked yet.
Okay.
It's kind of like we're getting drinks. It's like,
So you go in, and Throsar says some words in Kobold to some kobolds at a table, and they quickly clear the table, clear from the table for you guys to sit there.
Interesting.
I mean, again, keep in mind, you're bigger than they are.
Can I tell if he's intimidating?
By
the language and tone that he's wearing.
You would. I think it would probably be pretty obvious to understand that he may have said something along the lines of, "Hey, my large friends here would like this table, and they're not in a mood to argue."
Recipe's good at negotiating.
Mm-hmm.
Braxon to say thank you.
So shortly thereafter, a kobold will come up and ask you what you want to drink, give you a quick list of beverages. Throsar will be translating. There's some beers and ales. You don't know the names. Throsar will tell you that most of them are made with they're essentially fungal brews primarily.
So wines of some kind.
Solas tries one of these fungal ales.
Okay.
Lafdul try something as well. Something different, so we all can like taste each other's drinks, I guess.
Leva, you're just saying yes, please, whatever.
Say, pick your poison.
Blah, blah, blah.
I mean, you need to order it yourself.
I sent you a question concerning that.
Yeah, there's some leeway. You can, when given a list like this, you have some choices. You can choose what you want.
So, can I choose the one with the least alcohol?
You don't know which one has the least alcohol.
Oh my god.
Yeah, try something different, like we all are. Everyone gets a different drink.
So, what would she need to take? As long as it's alcoholic.
Braxon's going to ask Leva to ask the Restipede what these are made out of.
He said basically fungus.
All of them?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Are they all alcoholic?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she doesn't know any of them, so she just takes a finger and points towards one. I'd like to have that one, whatever that is.
Okay.
Is there no like raised eyebrows from the Rastipede at the mention? So
I mean, he understands that you guys are from out of sphere and
what would
genuinely
he
have
then?
no idea. Well, he's a Rastipede. He has completely different tastes than you do. He'll mention that he likes one of the ales, but he kind of shrugs and says, "I don't know what you guys like, what humans like." So you get a round. It's going to be 2 copper pieces each.
Mm-hmm.
whole crew.
I mean,
Okay. Also, Thrasar.
Yeah, it's only 2 copper pieces each.
Okay.
Thanks, Solas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. I don't think any of us are short of money, but
So, the taste is very unusual. Not necessarily bad, but it's very unusual. I think that the elves would probably be the ones to like it the least, but that's also up to you. If you have if you feel that your elf character,
thick or...
it is, and there's sediment in it. And it's a bit not sweet, but
savory.
Maybe,
as far as alcohol goes.
I'm thinking more along the lines of the effects. There's a little bit more, like, it's affecting you differently than normal alcohol does. Like, there's more than just tipsiness or drunkenness that's going on. There's a little bit of an aesthetic effect that you feel.
Psychotropic.
Not necessarily that.
I guess because Lafdul would really like that.
Is it strong enough that Leila could say no?
I mean,
Let's taste it.
you can't say no.
Okay.
So after the drinks come, what was that, Solas?
Solas mostly thinks that, while it's not the best, there are some ideas I could get from this for my own brews.
Yeah, it's very, very different. Very different from anything you've had before. Again, I'll leave it up to you to decide whether your characters like it or not.
If it's got like an anesthetic, like numbingness to it, it makes ideas spin in his head for like herbalism and stuff.
Solas suggests to Lafdul and the rest that most likely the fungus that was used contains herbal properties.
I mean, it's definitely not herbs, so...
Yeah, or medicinal properties. Due to the strange anesthetic effect.
So after the drinks come, Thrasar says, I can ask someone to come over and speak if there's someone that you'd like to talk to. If you buy a drink for them, they certainly be more likely to come and speak. Essentially, what he's asking is like you tell him what kind of information you're looking for, and he'll look around and pick out someone who seems more likely to have that information.
Is there any?
Yeah,
that's maybe a couple of the way.
Right, no, but that's why I said tell him what kind of information you're looking for, and he will pick out someone he thinks is most likely to have that information.
Someone that's well traveled, or that's like part of a.
What information do you want?
Traveling between the spheres, so like a first officer, captain, someone that'll navigator of some kind. Maybe rough and tumble sailor that's been around.
Where we can find someone from outside the sphere, I suppose.
Okay, so you're basically looking for general information about like other spheres that someone may have traveled to from here.
Knowledge from outer sphere, I suppose, because that way we know what spheres are nearby. If we say outer sphere from here, because it's usually only nearby spheres.
All right, so he looks around and identifies a kobold who is very likely an officer on a ship. And he goes over and speaks to him, and then
he dressed well
for a kobold. I mean, like he definitely is like his weapons are better than the people he was drinking with. and his equipment is definitely his armor and equipment is definitely better.
We're allowed to carry. Oh, I keep
Yep.
forgetting you can carry weapons in here. Is anyone carrying like wheel locks around here?
There's a hobgoblin who is. He's the only one that you can tell. He's the only one that's carrying it openly. Other people might that aren't obvious.
He's got it like strapped on his back or on like a
On a belt.
holster.
Belt holster, yeah. So the kobold comes over and have you given Thrassar permission to order a drink for anyone he brings over?
Yeah.
I think yes.
All right, so that'll be another 2 copper pieces. So he introduces the kobold as the second officer on a trading ship. And he has confirmed that this officer has been outside of the sphere and asks what you want to know about.
What spheres has he been? So what spheres he knows that are nearby?
He has been to a sphere that you've heard about, not like you've heard about since you got here, dominated by kobolds. That's the only one that he's been to, but he knows about other ones that have ogres, gnolls, goblins, hobgoblins, that sort of thing. There's 2 others like that.
Any human spheres around here?
He does not know of any like that, but he does know that at least one of the nearby, not one that's right next, like that doesn't have a connection here, but there's a connection to a sphere that has a connection to this sphere that he's talking about. It's completely controlled by the Illithids, and he does know that they have human slaves there. Like large numbers of human slaves.
So, Falk sphere?
No.
No,
It's definitely not Falks.
Controlled. There were numerous illithid controlled spheres here.
Yeah, but we also stand on like a sore farm, so that Illithid probably. Bunch of humans.
Yeah, we might need to go through a little space to get home.
Yeah, it seems like it might be.
Would you tell Thrassar, like, make it clear that you're trying to find your way home, kind of thing? That you're lost here and you're trying to find your way home, and get that conveyed to the kobold?
Yeah.
The kobold will mention that he has heard that their people arrived from another sphere, and within about 50 years, the Phlogiston River stopped going to that sphere. So the way that the goblinoids took to get in here no longer works. That's kind of a legend. He doesn't know if that's true or not. That's just what he's heard. That's
That
before
might be
his
why
time.
we have never heard of these spheres before.
Yeah.
But he'll also say that he's heard that there are some very knowledgeable individuals in the sphere who may know information that can help you. He knows at least
arcane.
he doesn't mention the arcane, but he does mention the dragons. And he does say that occasionally people are said to consult with the and Thrassar translates this directly and says that this is his words. The stupid singing spheres.
The stupid singing sphere.
And he's also heard rumors that there's a giant slug somewhere that knows things.
Oh, what was that? What was that creature what we met on Bra that was supposed to give books to at some point 10 years later down the line or something, or 7 years? I forgot what that creature...
That was a fowl.
That was a fowl.
Fowl, yeah.
Singing spheres. I wonder if he means beholders.
No.
Oh, there are only beholders around here.
They do get beholders coming through here. One of the nearby Lithid spheres is contested by beholders, but there aren't any. So far as anyone knows, there aren't any beholder colonies here.
So he's not talking about beholder bards.
No, he's most definitely not.
I think he's talking about specific creatures.
I'd pay good money to go listen to some singing beholders.
I don't think that would be worth it.
Don't they use telepathy?
Braxon,
well?
Braxon, give me an intelligence check.
Uh-huh.
Beholders? No. No, they speak.
Oh, I thought they could use telepathy. Yeah.
Not unless they have magic.
Right, let's look my sheet up.
Nope,
wow.
you've never heard of quote unquote stupid singing spheres.
Yeah. Clearly not.
Nope. So yeah, you do ask him, oh, beholders? And Thrasar gives you an odd look and says, no, he would have said beholders. So he doesn't know. Like these are rumors that he's heard about. That people have gone to with questions and stuff like that, but he doesn't have any more details.
Where do we find the stupid singing spheres?
He doesn't have any more information. It's a rumor.
Okay. Ah, right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd essentially, if the rumor is true, you would have to find someone who actually knows that information.
Yeah. Well, is there a place around here where ships trade navigation charts?
He says the only real charts that may come up for sale are ones for out of sphere, and they tend to be rare and expensive. Because the people selling those know that the only people who are going to be doing out-sphere trading are people who can afford to make those long journeys and have tough ships and stuff like that.
And pay for a premium.
Yeah, so they pay a premium to get information like that.
Mm-hmm. Is that the sort of thing we could get at what's the name of the port? Golgex Rest.
He says maybe. It depends on if anyone there is selling off. Like it's usually stuff that people are selling off, like a shipping company that needs to make quick cash, maybe because a shipment went bad or delivery didn't make the profit that it was expected, kind of thing.
Right. We're talking of shipping companies. Does he know of any shipping companies that want things taken to another sphere that might have more than a shipload?
He says there's always good trade that you can get. His captain never seems to have any trouble getting cargo, but it's more of a case of you essentially advertise where you're going, and if there's anyone who has some things that they want sold off there, they'll sell them to you.
I see. Yeah, it was more the case that we thought the cargo might get us the route.
Right, but you need to know where you're going first.
Yeah.
Because
true.
the things that you've already heard about are things into like Goblinoid-dominated space, Illithid-dominated space. If you want to go that route, you can. There's definitely a way. If you go through Phallux's crystal sphere, you can get back to the known spheres.
I
Yeah.
think there was hint of option of us being able to get home without going through any dangerous sphere.
Well,
So I think that would be.
let's
Or
be
at
clear.
least,
It's not that they're not dangerous. It's just that they're not Illithid-dominated spheres.
Yeah.
That is a way that you can go, and if you choose to take that route, I will detail all that stuff. But I assumed you would not want to go that route.
Yeah, Solas would not want to go that route.
I mean, they just got up so close and personal with you. You just seem so personable.
So after the kobold, has finished relaying his information, he goes back to talk with his crewmates,
True.
and Thrasar says, um, "Is there any other information that you'd like me to see what I can find?"
Uh,
Are there any Rhaegar spheres? Has he heard of Rhaegar before?
Thrasar definitely is aware of Rhaegar, and no, there is Rhaegar
There's
do
no
not
way.
have spheres, so far as anyone knows.
Well, are there any Rhaegar around?
He has not heard of a Rhaegar visiting this sphere in recent memory.
So hang on. He said there was some Hawaii in the
Yes,
bar.
there are.
If memory serves, Hawaii were brought into Wildspace by the elves.
No, you're thinking of
And-
Hadazee.
Hadazee. Right. Okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
but her way, if nothing else, would be a decent option for recruitment for crew members.
Yeah. Well, I'm not so worried about that at the moment. But I was thinking
Also,
we might meet someone that's come from somewhere else.
Now, these Herwadi are a little bit bigger than the ones that you've met before.
Is there any kobold or someone that's seems to be captivating an audience? Is a good storyteller, and he looks a little bit older.
Oh, these are the things that make air.
mhm.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And if there's a
Not
quiet
really.
moment, I was gonna say try and snag them.
Not really.
Uh,
The proprietor is a female kobold who is constantly shouting at people who are getting rowdy. And she has she'll hold up a club at them.
I think one thing we might want to ask is if there's any elder kobolds that have traveled a lot around this sphere that we might be able to talk with.
Actually, what's the local legends here?
I mean, you got some local legends. You can try to get some more information about the ones that you've heard. In terms of elder kobolds, there's no one here. Thrasar will tell you that the Gnome Skull Brewers, a proprietor there, is fairly elderly.
Well, we might want to talk to that person.
Tavern crawling to the other tavern.
Since we were told that the elder kobolds might have most knowledge around this port.
Yeah. Is it worth talking to Hawaii while we're here?
Right, but so it's you indicate the information that you want, and Thrasar will go find the most likely person who has that. If he doesn't bring the Herwadi over, it's because he doesn't think the Herwadi have any information that you want.
I got you. Well, we're really after finding someone who has found a way over here from any of the crystal spheres that we know that we're willing to tell him the name of.
Yeah, we just list off some random spheres. Does he?
I mean, Thrasar can ask around, see if anyone is familiar with some travelers who've passed through the sphere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good.
So he asks around, and he does come back to you and says that the Illithid has heard of some people.
Of course
An
he
illicit.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
that
an Illithid
one
here.
Illithid.
Yeah.
Is he now looking in our direction?
Kinda. But if you don't want to talk to him, you don't have to talk to him.
He could probably talk to us from that far away anyway.
Yeah, but you
Using
can't.
telepathy.
He can't read your mind. You have to actually speak for him to know what you're saying in response. So.
Right. Well, at least we'd be able to talk to him.
Well, he still needs to understand the language that you're speaking. You don't need Thrasar because Leva can speak to him.
Well, do you want to speak to him, Leva?
Sure, there might be a job.
If I must.
Well, I mean, you guys don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, you
How
don't have
uncomfortable are you?
If he has if he has information for us, then that could be useful. Then okay.
All right. So Thrasar goes over to ask if he is willing to talk to you, and he does appear to be willing. He was at a table with some of the Herwadi and some kobolds. You'd guess that they're either servants, slaves, crew, maybe. Who knows?
Thralls.
Thralls, yeah. And he does come over and sit down. Thrasar says he is not interested in a drink, however.
Not the kind that's served legally.
Well, I mean, you don't know. You don't know.
It's hard not to imagine.
Leva turns to it and asks him, what would you like? Would you like a drink? What would you like to have?
He is. Are you speaking in the trade tongue?
Yes.
Okay. He projects into all of your heads. I am not interested in drink, but I would be interested in an exchange of information. You are looking for travelers who may have passed through, and see what information you can gather about them.
No.
Yes, we do.
What kind of information is he looking for?
Oh, I'm looking for much the same.
Oh. Tell us more.
Are you not from around here, I take it?
He is, but I think we're going to have to find out what he wants from you when we come back from our break. Because it is about that time.
He's probably looking for a snack.
Okay.
Braxon's safe. He'd only be an appetizer.
You lost some wisdom, so yeah, he's not going to be that interested in you anymore. Alright, so we will be back in about 10 minutes, everyone. Good time to stand up and stretch, get something to drink, and we shall see you all shortly.